Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Monday. It is 1:15, first video of the week. My apologies, I didn't get a second video out last week. Hectic week, but a lot of action in the market. So let's just jump right into it. Backdrop of the market, we have, first and foremost, we have the Fed chair speaking in about 2 weeks. I think that's the 17th and 18th of March. I'll touch on why I think that's important. And I'm going to go on just a little bit of an illustration. One of the reasons I think that that's very important is because every major country or continent right now, for the most part, like Japan, China, all these, they're year to date outperforming us in the market. The United States stock market is basically flat on the year, where other countries are thriving. My gut kind of tells me we're going to get a rate cut of a quarter basis point. I'm not counting on it, but I think that's what's going to happen. So that should really help, again, the Russell small caps growth. We talk always about expanding multiples and why that's important, and be positioned for that. So something to keep in mind. Also, needless to say, we had the war, or whatever, the combat escalation that started this weekend with Iran. And I think a lot of people, I got tons of text messages Saturday morning. Everybody said the market was going to be bloodbath today. And stocks usually do very good with war. And the market is always front running news. So I think a lot of what happened last week was priced into already knowing that this escalation was going to happen. So it wasn't something that I was reading too much into. Certainly certain things like gold, obviously up over a point. We'll talk about that. But stocks as a whole, as you can see from the backdrop, basically every major index is green, and that is after an attack on Iran. So anybody that tells you like war is scary and all that, I mean, I disagree. It's an opportunity more than anything. So hopefully you're positioned for that. I'm going to jump into gold, be it the first thing I'm going to jump into today. A little bit unorthodox of what I usually do. I mentioned that gold, I got into some names, and I bought more the week before last. And this is, I think, and I said this on my last video last week, I think gold is going to take out that high. I think we're going to 6,000. I think in today's environment, you have to own gold as part of your balance sheet or as your portfolio. Again, sorry, let me start off. This is not financial advice, but rather for educational purposes. So, I think gold is important to own part of your balance sheet because of a multitude of reasons. I do think gold is going higher. How you decide to own gold, that's up to you. You could own it in hard gold. I own hard gold. You could own the GLD, which is the major F for gold, which tracks it. You could own GLDI, which I also own as well, which is a call covering monthly, 18, 20% yearly call covering ETF. Or you can own miners like I have and traded them. AngloGold Ashanti is the one that I've done very well on this year and last year, but that's preference for yourself. But gold is probably a good holding. I also saw Stan Druckenmiller's interview. If you don't know who he is, he's a famous investor. He's also holding gold. So gold doing well, as to be expected during this time of conflict and uncertainty. Well, okay, I'm going to jump into Bitcoin. Bitcoin made a nice move this morning, jumping up, now hovering around 69,000, getting closer to 70. Your breakout point is here at 72. I don't know that the bottom's in. I know a lot of people want to say they think the bottom is in. I don't know. I'm not quick to jump to that conclusion, though. I will say if you clear 72 on above average volume, that might be, but you're going to have a lot of overhead supply. I mean, this is one thing, but clearing this is going to be a very difficult task anytime soon. So Bitcoin having a nice move, 68, right under $69,000. So, okay, now going into the market, which is the most important. Going to touch on this, and then I'm going to give you some plays that I got for the week and what I'm doing. So Friday was right here. Not the best day, but the close was pretty strong. We did have a follow-through day on Wednesday, which was really good. We gave back the majority Thursday, but we did have a follow-through day. Volume ticked up, which was optimistic. Oh, no, I take it back. It was here. Then lower here. So the distribution days continue to stack up. This is always a good indicator to see on the days that we finish red, why is volume higher than the days we finish green? Those are distribution days. We would love to see the volume today finish up higher and let this day close green. But still, you should put your foot on the gas, or rather, you're in yellow right now. You should not be red or green. Let the market set up for you, and it's going to tell you your direction on how you need to invest. I think the name of the game right now, if I can illustrate something, I want to kind of give you a little bit of an illustration here is, we have been in this trade range, right? Let's see if I'm terrible with the lines on this. This is why I don't use Finviz to draw my lines, but so, all right, let's see if we can do this here. And we've been in this trade range. God, sorry you guys had to sit through this. Jeez Louise. All right, okay, so you see we're in this trade. Oh, jeez. So we had this move up from trough to peak. And since then, we've been in this trade range and we can't seem to break out. So it's a difficult market to trade because you're stuck in there. However, there's a term, you never short a dull market. But here's what I would say. Patience is going to pay. And I think the really good investors and traders are patient and they wait for their setup. And it's just not there yet. It'll give you an indication and then you take it. So let's keep diving into this. All right. Let's go to individual names and talk about what I'm invested in. I made a substantial purchase on Intuit last week, which is working out so well. Big stock. I made a very substantial purchase. It not a normal trade for me. I went relatively heavy on Thursday, I think it was, Thursday or Wednesday. It was on the earnings move. I think the bottom is in. I could be wrong, not financial advice. I'm up 5%, and then I was also up 4% on Friday, so far up 9%. Intuit going into tax season, beaten down, great long-standing company. I think Dow component, good earnings last week, really, really, really nice earnings last week. Moving averages curling through. I think you're going to see $500 on this. You could play it in calls. I bought shares, and I like I said, I bought a relatively large position, unlike what I normally do. Okay. I'm just going through what I'm holding right now. Arrow Electronics, I bought this. I'm down 3%. I have a stop loss. I hope this doesn't curl over, but I have a stop loss. Not saying you should go buy it, but that's what I'm in. Let's see. I have calls on this for earnings that just became... They're maybe even now. I also did buy shares again. I bought shares again on Friday. So I have my calls, which were an earnings play that was a very modest play on earnings last week. And then I bought shares on Friday because I wanted to have exposure to uranium. So far, shares are working out good. I did trade this before, and it worked out good, and I traded it here. It worked out good. So I'm like 4 for 4 minus these calls, but I think uranium has formed. I mean, I don't think I have to point this out. This is a cup. This is a handle. This is a leverage move. If you want confirmation, it's above that high of 2364. If you're a confirmation trader, which I wouldn't blame you whatsoever, 2364 would be your move. Okay, I am no longer short many names except for one, which I'll pull up. I am still in Micron. Relatively decent sized position. I thought this was forming a shelf. This isn't going to give you a big opportunity to get in. I think this is primed. I think the timing I got in is good. So I'm still in MU. I think that still looks really clean and healthy. I am still in CERS, small name. I talked about this, and I think they're going to earn. Oh, so earnings today. Ooh, I didn't even see this. I might cut my position in half here. So I am up, admittedly, like 15% on this now. I might cut this small stock, but I'm going to definitely leave some for a runner, small stock. I think they do good on earnings. So I might take some profits off the table, let this run. I think this is set up. It is up today, so I don't love stocks that run into earnings, but I think we're in good shape there. IMNM, I am still in this name. I really like this stock. I think this move today is a good little move here, giving you 2%. I think the volume came in higher. I'm not advocating to go out there and buy this. I'm just saying what I own. And again, I'm only just going through the names that I own or that I am trading. I don't normally trade futures all the time. I traded futures last night. I'm not going to start breaking down how I trade futures. I don't do it all the time, but whenever we have volume plays, I like to get involved in it. And volatility is your friend, so I continue to run towards volatility. And I don't know, I'm not in much else. Let me see, am I in anything else here? I'm still in Opendoor. I know everybody asked. Yes, it's buried in my account. Yes, I'm down 30% on it. Yes, I didn't set a stop loss. I don't care. I think the bottom's in. I think this is going higher. I told you this is a conviction name for me. Sometimes you have to have a couple stocks that you buy, that you're willing to have conviction in them. And this is that for me. This might take months. It might take a year. I'm okay. I made great trades here, and I'm playing with a little bit of house money there. So as you can see, I am relatively low on most names. I'll tell you what I plan to buy today. Let me tell you what I sold. I sold Corning last week. I feel like a putz because I sold it a day too early. I sold it here. I missed this move here, but I definitely didn't get screwed here. So maybe I wasn't that bad of a move. Ultimately, I had a good move here. This does look, by the way, that it's shaping up for its next run. I might buy this again today. Very likely I get right back into this name. Really like this name, and I feel like I sold a little early, though. It was a great trade. Southern Copper I want to get into. I'm not in that right now. I've traded that, as you all remember. I traded Southern Copper, and I got a big chunk of this move. I like copper this year, so I will. There's a good possibility I buy this today. That is on my watch list for today. I am still short Rigetti. I'm probably down 10% or 5% or whatever. I think it's green. Yeah, whatever. I think this is going lower. I have no desire to close this out. Rigatoni going downtown. Susie Brown. That's about it. I got some gold. I'm going to wait for confirmation for names to present themselves. I'm not rushing into anything. I think patience is a virtue in this market. Oh, another one I do want to buy. So it's either going to be, I want to either buy Southern Copper or Ivanhoe. I think I'm going to buy Ivanhoe because I think it's terrible to say that. Ivanhoe. My mind's always in the gutter. I think I'm going to buy this name today. So I will take a position in Ivanhoe for copper. This is a really favorable stock for me. I've done a lot of research on it. So that is going to be, I need copper exposure in today's climate. I've got my uranium, I've got my gold, and I'm going to wait for the setups to come in some stocks. I would say you need to have patience in this market. Again, if you're rushing to just buy anything, you're going to get killed. If you don't have stop losses, you're going to get killed. Here's your big board here so you can see it. Here are some of the major tickers that I look at. Obviously, Intuit has been good so far for me this morning and a combination of yesterday. I'm not going to give you any stocks to short because I don't think you can really short in this market. Palantir is the only one that I wanted to. As you recall, I shorted this through PLTW. I did really good. I made about 15%. Here's the thing, though. This is way too linked to the United States government and through combat or like war stocks. It's up today because of the war. I can't bring myself to short this, even though I do think it's going short lower. I'm not shorting this. I'm still in my names as I'm always in for my IRA. Yes, AMD, Visa. I added also into it to my IRA on top of a trading account. Amazon, Google. Yeah, those names are still there. Nothing changed. United, I bought that because I thought United's going to recover this year. So I kind of went through that fast. I think that's all I got for you today. I will be back this week for a second video. I'll leave you again. I don't want to beat a dead horse. Patience, patience, patience. Let this market prove itself to you. Let the setups come. There's going to be plenty of times where you can make money. You don't have to always trade or always stay invested. Let me see if I pull something up. Well, it's not here. If I have to give an opinion as to what's going to happen in the market, I don't know. Again, the conflict could escalate with the war. I don't really think that's going to have much bearing because I think the market already priced this in last week. So I don't really think it meant much. Oil is going to keep going and doing well. I expect oil names to do really good. I mean, that's somewhere I would keep your eye on how you want to play that. Tidewater is one that you could look at. I have it on my wall. Jeez Louise, I can't even type here. Tidewater is one that you could put on your watch list. I mean, I do like this name. I don't own it, but that's it. Just keep an eye, be patient, don't rush anything. Have a great week. All right, guys.